owns the health food store in Houston, flashed me. Now, you know, for those of you that are guests, when you come in Ardyss International, a lot of us become professional flashers. You know, when we see people, it is nothing like pulling up.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell y'all something. I was in Atlanta last week, and there was a home party, had about 70 people in the room, and when they started talking about who had on what, 5 men went to the front of the room and went boom, bam. I said, where's the money? I mean, I had never seen that many men flash at one time. And so she flashed me and she said, Gail, have you heard how you can drop 2 sizes in 10 minutes without diet, surgery, exercise, and pills? I said, girl, whatever that is, I want it right now. Because she said I didn't have to go to the gym, I didn't have to diet, I didn't have to have surgery, and I didn't have to take a pill. So I wanted that right then. See, I had a big event to go to, and I have no problem saying I'm a single lady. Ha ha, yeah. Okay. I had got a date, and this guy wanted me to go to this event, and it was a Mardi Gras theme. And I had this cute little outfit in my closet. I had all the right Mardi Gras colors and all that, but it had snaps right down the front, right? And so, ladies, y'all already know, at the time, I was an 8, really pushing a 10. And so, when you pushing anything, if you pushing anything and you got on snaps, if you go somewhere and you laugh or you cough, you may become the Incredible Hulk. Adrian, I had just got a date. I wasn't trying to mess it up. Because I wasn't trying to bust up out of my clothes, right? And so I said, girl, whatever it is, I want right now. And so she said, okay, so I'm going to be throwing nuggets tonight. I just want y'all to make certain that y'all catch some of them. But the first nugget I'm going to throw you is, this is what she said to me. Arthur Bourgeois-Smith said to me, Gail, I have been in the business since January. This was the end of April. I've gone from a size 18 to a size 14 simply by wearing the Body Magic and drinking the Levine. But I am not actively working the business. I have a husband, 3 kids, and a full-time business, so I'm not really working the business. She said, but the lady that brought me in, I'll give you her number, you can call her. So what I want y'all to understand, doesn't matter who signs you up. At the top of the form, it says independent distributor, and so it's your business. So I didn't care if she was in or not. I was like, girl, if that work, I want it. And so she gave me the number of Dorothy Cook, and I called Dorothy Cook. Dorothy Cook referred me to someone. Long story short, I got the garment. When I got in that garment and put that garment on, I'm going to tell you something. I was totally ballistic. I ran, got my jacket. I could snap it. I had room to spare. Went to the event, had a great time, right? So I couldn't wait to get back home to look through this catalog they had given me to see what else they had, right? By this time, a couple of weeks had passed. Dorothy Cook calls me and she said, Gail, you need to come to a meeting. And I said, why do I need to come to a meeting? She said, I heard you like to make money. I said, oh, wait a minute, you're absolutely correct. Because you see, I had worked at the post office for 20 years. I worked 6 days a week, 10 hours a day, every single holiday except for Christmas, only because they couldn't let me. Why? I was a single parent, and I wanted to give my son the benefits of a 2-parent household, so I worked a lot. But I also had got introduced to the industry of network marketing back in 1980. And I knew if I found the right business at the right time, with the right compensation, I could be flat out wealthy because it was happening in America. And so Dorothy Cook said, you need to come to a meeting. And I stepped up in a meeting, y'all, and I'm going to be really, really transparent with y'all tonight. Because, you know, when I walked into that meeting, I was clean, y'all. I can still remember I had on a red Ellen Tracy suit. I looked fantastic. But I had my game face on. Because, you see, I used to work at the post office. Worked there 20 years, but I had left the post office some years before in pursuit of my dream. I had got sick and tired of living a revolving door lifestyle. I was tired of getting up, going to work, stay all day, come home, feed my son, get back in the bed, and go do it over and over. I was tired of riding around Houston seeing other people drive the car that I said was my dream car. I was tired of people living in houses and high-rises that I said, this is what I had wanted for myself. And so when I left the post office, some years before I was introduced to Ardyss, I've just stepped out. I'm not telling anybody to leave their job, okay? So y'all see, I didn't tell you to leave your job. But that's what I did. And I'm going to tell you something, it was a roller coaster. I had some very high highs and some very, very lows. And when I got introduced to Ardyss International, I had found myself out of my 4-bedroom house. I had just gotten out of a bad marriage, and I had become so low that I had to live in one room of somebody else's 2-bedroom apartment. I wondered, how on earth did I get here? I went into a depression. I mean, that lasted for about 2 years, y'all. I'm telling you the truth. And so when I walked into that health food store, never did I know I was actually stepping from the wilderness into the promised land. Because I'm going to tell you something. When I got hold of this thing and I saw what it could do, I got excited. So when Dorothy Cook told me to come to a meeting, I stepped up in there clean, because we all can clean up good. But behind the closed doors, you don't know what's going on, so never prejudge anybody. Just share the information. And so I walked in there and I sat there in the seat, and I heard this lady get up in front of the room and say her very first month in Ardyss International, she had made $16,000. Her first month in the business, in her own pocket. I said, ooh, I'm going to tell y'all something. Couldn't nobody talk to me. Couldn't nobody pat me on the shoulder. I gave that lady my full undivided attention. And I promise you, when that meeting was over, I walked up to her. Her name is Helen Delahousse. And I said, you don't know me, but you going to be the reason I don't sleep much tonight. Because I knew where I was in life, and I knew
where you want to be.
I wanted something, and I had been praying for something. And when God opened up the windows for me, I'm going to tell you something. I didn't look back. And I tell you what, in 5 short months, because of this company, I was at a 6-figure income, and it can happen for you too. And so I just want to share with you, this is a phenomenal company. It's absolutely a phenomenal company. We started back in 1990. How many people in this room know someone, even if it's you, that's ever gotten a pink slip? And anybody ever known anybody get a pink slip? Okay. Yeah, okay, I thought it was something, buddy. They're not just giving them out in Texas. They're not just giving them out in Texas. Okay, so a lot of y'all have either been there or knew someone who's gotten a pink slip. Well, that's how Ardyss International actually started, because Mr. Antonio Diaz de Leon went to work one day when he was working for the government in Mexico, and he got a pink slip. And he said, wow, how am I going to take care of my wife and 2 kids that I have? And he said never again did he want somebody else to be in control of his future. And that's how Ardyss International was formed. And they are built totally on family values. I tell you what, it is absolutely phenomenal company. It never worked with a company that makes you feel so